Okay, right. So I'm well excited for this. I want to know the truth so much. So, well, because there's only 5 of us, we can do like the 2 other statements that we've got for each other. So, like we know, you say statement A and statement B, and we've all got to guess which one we think is true and which one we think is false. So we'll just put our things up, and then the person, whoever is speaking, will just say which one was the true one. So I think that'll be really good. But
can I just ask a question? I've written out like 2 truths and 2
Yeah, me too.
falses.
I've got 4.
Yeah,
me too. So say 1 truth and 1 false in the first round, and then again we'll do it again.
Okay, perfect.
So yeah, because I've got that as well. Where's mine actually?
So whoever's talking, so the rest of us mute ourselves so it doesn't like jump about the screen.
Yeah, good idea, Sarah. Right, so who would like to go first?
You.
Me?
You.
Oh
yeah.
God.
Gemma's going
first. Ready for this?
Oh my God.
Okay.
I've just
Statement A is, we are recording. Right, statement A. As a kid, I used to collect stamps and play the accordion. And statement B. I once hitchhiked on a tractor and paid him with 10 pence worth of coppers. So it was like 10p in coppers. So statement A was, as a kid, I used to collect stamps and play the accordion. And statement B, I once hitchhiked on a tractor and paid the man 10 pence in coppers. So write your answers down. Okay, so statement A, who thinks it's true and who thinks it's false? So Sarah thinks it's true, false, false. Okay, let me just get this. To the false, true, Anna, false. Kerry.
What am I supposed to be writing down? What
No,
am I
it's
supposed to be
me.
writing? Who writes? Are we not writing down anything?
No, not yet. No, you're not having to write anything down. I'll write them down.
Okay.
Okay, so statement B, who thinks that's true and who thinks that's false? Okay, right. You ready to hear? So statement A was false. Statement B was true.
Can you explain where you were going and what you were doing?
And why you had a bag of copper coins in your pocket? Just
was it out of a sock as well? Did you give him the sock?
I thought you looked like more of a hitchhiker than a
Why didn't you have a bum bag? Where was your bum bag with all these pennies in?
Well, always has to do with a boy. Okay, so I went to the local disco at Greystoke.
Oh.
And then I got severely drunk.
How old were you?
I was probably about 15, 16, I think.
Right.
And I decided that that was it. That was the night I was going to go and share my love for this boy who lived in Langwathby. So he was in Langwathby, and there was a bike outside the disco thing, the hub. So I tried to get on the little bicycle at first and fell off, and then I saw a tractor, and I just asked him to take me to Langwathby, and he did for 10 pence. And I got there, and the boy didn't want anything to do with it.
Oh
He
no.
gave me an apple to get myself.
Oh God.
An apple?
What was the apple for?
Because I might have got hungry on the way home. So,
I'd have punched him.
so
Yeah.
yeah.
To me, it had the right face. Like,
That's brilliant.
So, Julie and Anna, well done.
Woo, woo, woo.
Right. 2 ticks to you, girls. Right, who's next? Keris, you go.
right. So, statement A is, when I was 9, we were driving down a field in a little old tractor, and I thought it would be a brilliant idea to jump out the door, moving. Statement B is that when I was younger, I was showing my horse. The horse stood on my foot, tripped me over, and I face planted the floor in the middle of the show ring. And the judge gave me first place as a sympathy vote. So, statement A, I fell off a tractor door because I thought it'd be funny to jump out. Statement B, the horse stood on my foot, I tripped over, and I got first place for sympathy vote. So who thinks statement A is true or false? And who thinks statement B is true or false? Well done, Anna. Statement B is true.
You're joking.
I was running around the ring in Hanshaw. Chris Purdon was watching me. And I did no more than get a bit clumsy. My horse, Sweet Pea, stood on my foot, and I just went in front of a whole crowd of people in the show ring, boom, face first onto the floor. Sweet Pea just stopped dead, didn't know what to do, and the judge gave me first place as a sympathy vote because he said I did really well in recovering from it.
Oh my God.
The most embarrassing thing that ever happened to me, especially being like, I was only 10-year-old at the time, so you can imagine this 10-year-old girl with this horse like then I won first place and smiled the whole time.
Oh.
Good on you. Right, who are you going to nominate?
I nominate Sarah.
Okay. Right, I'm going to try and do this without laughing. Whether I'm lying or telling the truth, I'll start laughing. So, all right, let's have a look which one to go for. Okay, so statement A, I once spent the night in a brothel as it was the only place in the city with a room free to rent. Okay. And statement B is, I was once detained by the police as I matched the description of a person who had been shoplifting. Okay, so I'm going to read them out again. Statement A, I once spent the night in a brothel as it was the only place in the city with a room free to rent. And statement B is, I was once detained by the police as I matched the description of a person who had been shoplifting. Okay, so who thinks statement A is true or false? Okay, and who thinks statement B is true or false? Okay, well, I can tell you all that the true statement was that I once spent a night in a brothel as it was the only place in the city with a room free to rent.
Oh my God.
and then I was like, no, surely she matched the description of a shoplifter. Oh,
Thanks. What are you trying to say, Anna? You cheeky bear. Bloody cheat.
She's saying you look like a ruffian.
I know. You mind?
But
So
I can imagine. I then had like visions of you being stopped, and you going, "What, me? No."
how dare you? Yeah. So would you like me to elaborate on my night in the brothel?
Yes.
Yes.
So, this was when I was living in Spain for the summer with university. I was living over there for 6 weeks, living in the city of Valencia, and me and a group of friends decided we wanted to go to Barcelona because we'd never been there before. So we got a bus to the city, and being like 19, we just back then like there wasn't like everyone uses their phone now, you know, to like booking.com or whatever. We just didn't really have mobile phones, or if we did, we didn't kind of use them in the way we do now. So we got this coach to Barcelona, and when we got to Barcelona, we had timed it with their biggest fiesta of the year. So the city was absolutely heaving, and we didn't realise this. And obviously people from all over Spain had come for this huge fiesta in the city. So we kind of during the day were going around and being tourists, being like, yeah, it'll be fine, they'll be somewhere, it's a big city. And as it got to kind of late afternoon, we started looking and still couldn't find anywhere to stay. Everywhere we went was absolutely full. So we thought, God, we're going to just end up having to just literally stay up all night. And we found this little place, and we thought it was like a little hostel or something. So you went up these really narrow like stairs to like this very dark kind of stairway, and we got to this tiny little desk, and there was this very dodgy bloke stood there and looked at me and 3 other friends, female friends, as if to be like, are you looking for a new job or what? So we were like, oh, we got a room to rent, you know, the city's full. And he was like, well, I don't really normally rent out rooms for the night. And we were like, oh, still not clocking on that this was a brothel. Anyway, in the end, I think he took pity on us and was like, well, yeah, there is one room, but you'll all have to share. We're like, that's fine. Anyway, and it was this really grotty little room, and we all shared, and it looked like it hadn't been cleaned in about 1,000,000 years. We all slept in our clothes on top of the beds because we were too scared to get in them, and there wasn't a bathroom or anything, and you had to go like down this hall which was pitch black. There was no light bulb, then there was no light bulb in the bathroom either, and no lock on the door. So if any of us like needed a wee or anything, we had to like go with someone else, stand outside the door and basically protect us. Anyway, we worked out it was a brothel because like you could hear men coming and going and several other noises that you might hear in a brothel throughout the night. And yeah, so the next morning we got up and were like, let's get the hell out of here. And as we walked out, it was in quite a dodgy part of town, and these like groups of men were just hanging around. And yeah, we all got looked at quite weirdly walking out of this brothel. So that was my night in the brothel.
That's amazing, Sarah.
The things I have done, girls, honestly, I could write a book about it. But it always seems to happen, like, not planned. It's just one of those crazy things that happens when you're traveling or abroad or whatever. So yes,
So,
that was me.
I lost count on there for what I was trying to put down. Did you get it right, Julie?
Yes, brothel, yes.
Who else got it right? Was it you,
Me.
Anna? You got it wrong, and Keris
Got it right.
and I got it wrong, wasn't it? Oh, Julie and Anna, 2 each.
Do, do, do.
I nominate Anna to go next.
Okay, well, I haven't jazzed mine up with like, I've just written like a few words. So, statement A, to date, I have helped lamb 12 lambs. So to date, I have brought 12 lambs into the world. Now, we don't have sheep ourselves, but obviously they're everywhere. Statement B, I once had no choice but to clean the toilet with a housemate's girlfriend's toothbrush because she was a twat. So statement A or statement B? Who thinks, statement A, what do people think? Okay. So that everybody said false. So statement B. Yeah, you're right.
Love it.
That's really bad though, that you automatically assume that I didn't help nature and that actually I was that much of a bitch.
Yeah.
Well,
that
Anna,
is.
not being funny.
Yeah. It was actually the passion in your voice when you explained how much you hated it.
Yeah. Gave it away when you said that. I was like,
Yeah,
It reminds me, Anna, when I
the
stay
way
at your
you
house,
said,
not to
like-
leave my toothbrush.
Yeah,
Well, do you know
the way
what,
you
right?
said she was an absolute.
She ended up moving next door to me in like a safe house to get away from her thingy. So our paths had always crossed and we'd always got on. Then she started going out with Ivan and she consistently used to make cheese salad sandwiches in brown bread, which just got on my nerves because she didn't move in as such. She just loitered around a lot and got on my nerves. And then one day, she was quite fiery. One day, Paul and I had come back from being up north, and one of my photo frames on the mantelpiece was smashed, and it basically, it disappeared. So I said to them both, like, have you seen that? Like, have you got any idea? And they were like, no. And I was like, oh, so what? A photo frame just like disappears. Next day, she came in and brought this photo frame in a home base bag and was like, I smashed it, like I was arguing with Ivan and like I flew off the handle and sorry. So I was like, right, fine. Then we come back one day and she'd thrown a stick through the window. So I had enough by that point, and she was very precious about her products in the bathroom, like her baby oil that she rubbed on her body like 5 times a day. So I just grabbed the toothbrush because she had beautiful teeth. She had really nice teeth, and she was known, she had come to bed eyes, the boys used to say, because she had like bright blue eyes with jet black hair and these massive tits and these white teeth, and she was just an idiot. She was just an idiot. So I had to do it. Luckily, she never found out. But it was satisfactory.
So did you let her use the toothbrush?
What do you mean? Well, I didn't tell her about it. I just got hers out of her wash bag in the bathroom and then went round, you know, like the little lip in the toilet, like that bit.
And then
Obviously,
put it back in the
then
bag.
there was a bit of debris on it, so I had to wash the debris off under the tap so that you couldn't see like any discolourment because it was a very old toilet. It was a Burlington toilet, so
And
it had
then
a lot
put
of
it
rust.
back into a bag.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
Oh, it makes me feel safe.
oh, Anna. Hilarious.
Oh,
Makes me feel
love
safe.
it.
I've never done it before, and hopefully I never need to do it again. But watch out. Anyway, Julie.
Right, thank you. Okay. Are we ready? So, I once went to see NASA launch a space rocket, but I missed it by an hour. I travelled around America. I bought a minivan and I slept in laybys and supermarket car parks. So you ready? Who thinks what do you think about statement 1, true or false? Are you writing them down, Gemma? Yeah. Okay, and statement 2. Okay. Are you ready to know? So statement 2 was true.
Yes.
So statement 1 wasn't true. I actually did see the space.
There's no
shuttle
way you were
launch.
ever going to be late, Julie, to anything,
No.
let alone an hour late. Like, that's
Yeah,
why
an
I
hour.
laughed, because I was like, 5 minutes, missed it. Yeah, an hour, never.
Yeah. So yeah, we actually saw it
Who
launch.
else got that right? Because I'm getting up to pot with my brain here. You got it right, didn't you, Anna?
Mm-hmm.
Me and Anna, I think.
Yeah.
You as well, Caris.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did travel around America for 3 months, bought a minivan in Atlanta, converted it so we could sleep in it, and then travelled all the way around about 34 states we went to.
Amazing.
Wow.
Slept in
That's
lay-bys, supermarket car parks, anywhere we could, and grabbed showers wherever we could. They have like
Awesome.
national parks over there that have actual camping lodges and showers, and we just kind of drove in and stole a shower and then drove back out, and yeah, it's good fun.
Wow. Jealous.
Awesome.
That's amazing. I
Very
don't
jealous.
think of the logic when people say things. I just think of the really stupid, like, why would you be in a car park?
Yeah, sometimes you could have
oh yeah, because
found.
you'd have been really doing like a good travel, and I just thought, NASA, that sounds hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah. But sometimes you can't find somewhere to sleep and you've been driving all day, so we just parked up in supermarket car parks and just slept. If
But
it's
that makes
24
sense.
hours,
It
yeah.
totally makes sense, but I always think totally like a ridiculous reason why you would be doing that.
Yeah, we got moved on a couple of times in some dodgy areas, like proper travellers were like, please knocked on our window in the
Gypsies.
middle of the night and said, what are you doing, love? We're like, we're from England and we're just sleeping. Like, on you go.
Right. Okay. I'll go again, and then we'll do Claire's at the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we go around again, and then we'll do hers at the end. Right. Okay. So, statement A. I once got jiggy with a guy while abroad and lost my bikini in the pool and had to run back naked. And statement B. I once won a chess competition in primary school. So, statement A is, I once got jiggy with a guy while abroad and lost my bikini in the pool and had to run back naked. Statement B, I once won a chess competition in primary school. So who thinks statement A is?
I think they both happened. What do I do? Like, I genuinely do.
Both of them haven't happened. Both of
But I
them.
can't decide. I can't decide.
I'll tell you, yeah. Both of them
Okay.
haven't happened, but I'll tell you something in a minute after it. So statement A, Julie thinks true. Sarah, false. Keris, true. Anna, false. And statement B. True. False. Okay. Are you ready? So well done, Julie and Keris.
Yes.
Love it.
It was the same theory as the stamp collector. It was like, chess? No.
But I now I tell you what the stories are with the stamps, because I am one of a kind, shall we say. I didn't collect stamps when I was a kid, but I had a weird thing about spoons. So I collected spoons. I even had a display shelf.
Oh, bless you.
I know. And the chess, I am really good at playing chess, but I never won I think the school won a competition, but I never actually won one, like, you know, wholeheartedly. But yeah, the bikini thing, so that was when I worked abroad as a dance teacher. And it was near the end of the season and we were all just getting a bit crazy. and I decided that I'd just have it off with this guy in a pool, and the big, huge, fancy pool, because we were in like one of these holiday villages, so it was a family area. It wasn't like just a small pool, and it was like maybe 2 a.m, and we decided to do it in like the main pool, but we were near the filters, and I didn't realise. And he went, and I had nothing. And the staff quarters was right down the
Oh no.
Oh dear.
That's brilliant.
So yeah, that was fun times. So well done, Julie and Keris. So, oh, Julie, you're in the lead at the minute with Anna and Keris. 3 each. Me and Sarah don't do very well on this. Right, okay. So, Sarah, if you go.
Oh no, just sorry, I'm just adapting something to one of my stories.
Oh, okay.
Just fabricating it.
Okay. Keris, if you want to go then on.
Right, so statement A is I went to a 21st birthday party in a stubble field, and there was a big marquee, and I pushed the birthday boy into the side of the marquee, and it smashed through and smashed all the bottles of beer, all the bottles, everything inside of the marquee, so there was no alcohol left. Statement B is when I was drunk, I was walking home and I fell asleep under a bush down a back lane with a bottle of wine in my hand, cuddling it. So, who thinks statement A is true or false? Who thinks statement B is true or false? I know. Yeah, it was statement A is true.
Yeah, you got one right at last.
Oh no.
I went to a gamekeeper's 21st, and he'd rented a big massive marquee from the local pub, and there was a bar behind it, and I was messing around with him because he was one of my best friends. It was the first time Georgia had ever met him. And I was like, this is Aunt blah, 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 blah. And I was really, really drunk, like so drunk, it was unbelievable. And I was having to go at him because he got Portaloos and wouldn't give me the key to his house because I wasn't using the Portaloo. So I went, right, fine, and just went boom, like that. And because he was drunk as well, he fell backwards into the side of the marquee. Well, the marquee was obviously really thin, and it fell back, and it was where the bar was in the corner, and it just knocked all the boxes of alcohol everywhere. So there was no alcohol left because I smashed it all.
Oh god.
And I just ran away. I did no more than just run. I just pretended it didn't happen.
Oh, Keris, that's brilliant.
So
That is so
ditzy.
funny.
I
so
definitely
funny.
went in the Portaloo after that.
What did he say? What did he say the next day? Like, did he go
Well,
mental?
Yeah, because he had to pay for it all.
Oh, poor guy.
And he tried to make me pay for it. He rang me and he was like, this is when I was with my ex-boyfriend who was a keeper on the same estate as him. And he rang me the next day and was like, you need to come and pay for all this alcohol. And I was like, what's the bill? And he was like, it's like £400 or something like that. And I was like, I'm not paying for it. I was like, I didn't do anything. Don't know what you're on about. Everybody saw it.
That's so funny.
So ditzy.
Well done,
Really
Sarah.
ditzy. Well, I mean, I have fallen asleep on a back lane, but it wasn't in a bush and it wasn't with a bottle of wine. You know, after Joe's 50th,
Yeah.
Anna,
Yeah.
I was really drunk, wasn't I? And I was passing that bottle of wine round, and I give it to you and got you really drunk with the bottle of wine.
Yes.
Well,
You
I had
did.
work the next day at John Norris, so I then had to, and it was like 4 o'clock in the morning, and Georgia and me set off walking up the back lane, well, you know, the really steep hill
Yeah.
on the way back.
Yeah.
I fell down it and just decided I was going to curl up and go to sleep at the bottom.
Oh my God. Our trip home that night was pretty horrific as well, because I was in flip-flops and we were in the pitch black with Tally and Kerry, so her old man, and he kept falling over. He's like 60, pitch black, walking down the field to the village. In the end, I managed to ring Paul, and it was pissing it down with rain. He picked us up from the end of the fields at like quarter to three in the morning. Then I vommed all day the next day. Like, literally.
I was at work at John Norris. I got there late. I got half an hour late. I turned up and I was like to my boss, I'm still pissed. I was like, I'm sorry, James. I'm here now. This is to James Norris. I was like, I was just at a party. I'm fine. And he was like, do you need a glass of water? And I was like a rabbit in the headlights. The work stuff I was wearing was what I was wearing the night before as well, because I wasn't meant to be going. So I'd turned up in my work stuff. I was covered in dust because I'd fallen asleep on a dusty lane. In my shuffle. My shuffle was ripped, and I never knew that. He made me take it off and give me another.
I don't blame
him. That is so funny.
And he gave me a hairbrush.
You know, we're going to have to do this because it's reminded me of stories that I completely forgot.
Me too.
I've just remembered something that you guys would just be like, what? Right, who's next then?
I
Sarah, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Okay. So here we go. Right. So statement A is, while living in Venezuela, I was stung by a scorpion and spent 3 days in hospital. And statement B was, I once was stopped and searched at immigration due to them finding traces of cocaine in my luggage. So, statement A, while living in Venezuela, I was stung by a scorpion and spent 3 days in hospital. And B, I once was stopped and searched at immigration due to them finding traces of cocaine in my luggage. So, who thinks statement A and the scorpion is true or false? Okay, and who thinks that I was once stopped at immigration because of the whole cocaine incident is true or false? Okay, have you got that noted down, Jem? Okay, so the true statement was that I was once stopped and searched at immigration because they found traces of cocaine in my luggage.
Oh my God.
I would just like to, can I just, especially as Julie's here on the call, I would just like to clarify some bits of information. So this was when I'd lived in Venezuela for a year, and I'd met Nelson, and but still had a year left at university in Essex to do. So I'd come back to the UK, and obviously halfway through that year, as you are when you're loved up, I decided to go and spend 3 weeks at Christmas time back in Venezuela to spend it with Nelson. So I'd been back, lovely time, etc. And then I flew back to Heathrow Airport in the new year. And obviously I was, what old was I? 20. I was 21. I was traveling on my own, and I'd come from a country where huge amounts of cocaine passes through from Colombia to then go out to Europe, the rest of the world. So instantly, obviously, before I even got to the UK, I had then realised that certain people like myself, a 21-year-old female coming back from a South American country, they instantly think, aha, this woman could be a mule. So I'd flown to Paris, and then my connecting flight Heathrow. So instantly 3 people came at me as I'm sort of walking along, and they said, can you come with us, please? I was like, yeah, and started firing questions one after the other and repeating themselves to see if I sort of tripped up with my answers. And they said, where have you come from? And so I was like, oh, I've just come from Paris. And they were like, yeah, where have you come from before that? I said, Venezuela. So instantly they were like, okay, into this room. And they no, not into this room, but like into a side bit. So everyone else is walking past, and they've got me there, and these 3 people firing questions at me, and all these hundreds of people like walking past, like, oh, look at her, look at her. And at that point, they're searching my luggage, and literally, like, every single piece of clothing, even like socks, they're like holding them up and looking at them, you know, like getting your knickers out and doing that. And I'm like, thank you. Can we not just do that to the world? Anyway, and they obviously thought like I either had drugs inside me or hidden in my luggage. So they swabbed my luggage, and I thought, well, I'm not worried, you know, I haven't got any drugs on me, it's absolutely fine. And they sort of then huddled together, and it all looked a bit serious, and they came back to me and said, we have found traces of cocaine in your luggage. Is there anything you want to tell us? And at that point, I thought, oh dear, has someone planted something in my bag and I'm now going to jail for 20 years? And I was actually really scared at that point. And anyway, then they made me go into like an x-ray machine to see that I didn't have anything inside me. Then they took my bag and put it through like the x-ray machines and all this extra stuff. And eventually, after like patting me all down, like proper grabbing you everywhere, including between your legs. Yeah, it wasn't fun. Anyhow, they came back to me and said, oh, it's fine. Yeah, you're free to go now. And I was like traumatized at this point. I was like, oh my God. So I said to them, just so that this doesn't happen to me again, I was like, I've never done cocaine, and I wasn't sort of hanging out with people snorting coke. So how have I got, like, how's this happened, basically? Because it scared the living daylights out of me. And they said to me, well, your bag's been through an airport system. There could have been a minuscule trace of coke from someone else's bag from weeks ago that was on like a conveyor belt or something like that. That's got stuck onto your luggage. So when we do our swabs, it will pick up the tiniest thing that even the human eye won't see. And basically that was what was happened. So after I'd been utterly traumatized and searched, and thankfully not strip searched, I was allowed to go home. But literally, as I packed my stuff up and walked out that airport, my legs were like jelly. So it wasn't fun, but it did happen.
So you got home and had a line and felt fine, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Pulled it out my bra, thought that'll do. Yeah. Oh God.
The duct taped in. Could never find it.
But I did, the whole scorpion thing actually did nearly happen. We were at the beach, and there was loads of us in like somewhere in hammocks, and others were sat round in chairs, and it was obviously really hot. And and over there they drink whiskey, like that's just what they drink when everyone's kind of drinking together, whiskey or beer. And someone was like, Sarah, pass me the whiskey, and the bottle was next to me, and I reached down and saw this thing move and sort of leapt up. And then everyone else was like, whoa, and like a big commotion. And like I instantly just jumped on a chair, and it was a massive scorpion. And they had to kill it. And they said, you're lucky you didn't get stung, because if you did, you would have spent several days in hospital. So I nearly got stung. But
oh my God. Sarah, I bet you've got loads of stories.
Oh, I've got massive.
Brilliant. Right.
I saw a scorpion in Croatia and ran for dear life. He wanted to see me, screaming.
Yeah. I've ran from several animals in Venezuela, including giant toads the size of footballs and extremely large poisonous snakes, but thankfully none of them got me.
Oh,
yucky.
Right, I'll go, but I'm not going to put any passion in my voice. I'm going to read them both as monotone as I can.
Okay.
And I'm going to read them like this, so you can't see. No. I once was escorted and arrested off a double-decker bus for public indecency with an ex-boyfriend. I modelled for a holiday brochure for camping resorts in Italy and Lake Garda, particularly. So I once was escorted and arrested off a double-decker bus for indecency, public indecency with an ex-boyfriend, or I once used to model for a camping travel brochure in Italy. Resorts in Italy. So, statement A, true or false? That was a double-decker bus. Can't see Jen. That's better. Okay, and statement B. Okay, statement B actually is the true one. I did model for a holiday camp. When you were a kid, you had like all the rave, well, for my family was to go off every 6 weeks throughout Europe in the Montego and drive all the European countries, and we had a campsite in each country, and Euro Camp was one of them, and then there was another version of them which was like a little bit higher up. Anyway, I ended up modelling for the Euro Camp brochure in Lake Garda at the age of 6, and I don't believe I got a penny from it, just copies of the magazine. I don't even know if my parents received any money, or just some random man came up and went, "Can we use your daughter to take a load of pictures of her?" And then I went, "Yeah, fine, do it." And no, believe it or not, I have never been arrested for public indecency.
I feel
Because I'm not that much of a whore. So
I was really torn. I thought, oh, I don't know. And I just thought, right, I should just go on my gut. I should really go on my gut.
You know what I thought, Anna? I thought because the amount of times, like working in, like, because obviously you worked in a country store as well, selling country clothes, I thought it was linked to that. That's why I chose it, because I was like, John Norris have amped amount of opportunities to do that. So that's why I thought you got into it. So that's why I chose true. But I was totally wrong. But I got it right.
Yeah, there you go.
So me and Keris and Sarah, you got that right, didn't you?
Woohoo!
Excellent. Right. So
Julie
now, isn't it? Yeah.
Me, okay. I've had a bit too much gin now, so we'll give it a go. I once lived in Maastricht for 3 months and spent most nights smoking weed in the coffee shops. I actually lived in Germany and worked in a bar at night and went to uni during the day. So do you want them again? So statement A is, I once lived in Maastricht for 3 months and I spent most of the night smoking weed in coffee shops. And statement B was, I actually lived in Germany and worked in a bar at night and went to uni during the day. So who thinks, what do people think about statement A, true or false? Okay. And statement B?
Is that a full house?
Yay, see, you're all right. Do I look like I've smoked weed all my life? Or 3 months?
Yes, you're an absolute pothead, Julie. Just a
She's a stoner.
Only whilst it is legal in Holland.
That's great.
Yes, I lived in Holland. I went to uni in Holland for 3 months in Maastricht. So yeah, it was very good fun.
So that was true.
Yeah, that was true. Yeah.
Yes. That's brilliant.
Yes, it was good. I travelled most of Europe when I lived in Maastricht. I went on sleeper trains to lots of other places in Europe and travelled most weekends, and then studied during the week at uni in Maastricht. So it was good.
Wow. That is
The problem I found whilst writing these statements is I've got a really shocking memory and definitely no memory for detail. I was trying to think of things. I've done so many things. I'm like, I can't remember half of it. So
Well, thinking of it now, like while we're doing it, like stories are popping up in my head, and I'm like, oh my god, yes, I remember this, and oh my god, I remember that. I definitely think we should do it again. Definitely.
Should.
Yeah, it's definitely good fun.
So
Yeah.
we've got Claire's, and we'll just so basically it's a draw at the minute with Anna and Keris.
Ooh.
And Julie, so Anna and Keris have got 5 each. Julie, you've got 4, and me and you, Sarah, have got 3. So it could all just, if Anna and Keris get Claire's wrong and you get it right, Julie, then the 3 of you will have won. So we'll have to do a tiebreaker, which I'll just do over WhatsApp. I'll do over WhatsApp. And the winner will get a prize off me. And I'm not telling you what it is yet.
I thought I would be rubbish at this, you know.
Well, I thought it'd be amazing. Clearly not. Right.
Maybe
Okay.
I should have been a detective.
Right. So Claire's statement. So statement A. I was once treated by a doctor wearing armour, or I was supposed to be going to do a tandem skydive, but when I was up in the plane, it turned out I had to do it solo. Oh, hang on, is that 2? She got 2 going there. No,
Yeah, they're 2 different
they're
statements.
2 different, aren't they? Yeah, so
Yeah.
I think she's meaning one step, right. So statement A from number 1 is I was once treated by a doctor wearing armour. And statement B, I was supposed to be going to do a tandem skydive, but when I was up in the plane, it turned out I had to do it solo.
What's a tandem skydive?
When you're like strapped to another person, so you're strapped together and you jump out, so normally like with an instructor or someone else.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'll just put Keris, Anna, and Julie. Right, okay. So do you want me to just say them again? Are we all right?
We're all right.
Yeah.
I think we're good.
Okay, so statement A, who thinks that is true and who thinks that is false? Oh, so we all think it's true that she was treated by a doctor wearing arm.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
It's mainly because I don't think you can accidentally tandem or solo skydive.
Yeah, I don't think you can do it by yourself unless you're an instructor, can you?
Yeah, you can't unless you like. I think you've
Know
got to
what
pass
you're
some
doing.
sort of test or something. Yeah.
Ah, right, I see.
Yeah, because you've got to be able to pull your parachute
But she might
out,
have
haven't
already
you?
passed that test.
Claire does loads of things, so who knows?
Yeah.
Right, so number 2. So statement A, I once went out for a drink and woke up in a different country. Statement B, I was out fell walking and went round in circles past the same point 4 times before I realised I was lost. So who thinks statement A is true? Do you want me to say them again? Are we all right?
Oh,
I think false. Right, so hang on, keep them up. So Julie, this is statement A, isn't it? True. 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 False. And I'm false. And who thinks statement B is true or false? True. False. Right. False. True. False. Okay. So we'll have to find out. We'll message her and ask her. Like, we'll put it on the group chat and just ask her which one's true and which one's false. I could ask her now, actually, while we're on.
Yeah.
I'll just say.
I really hope you've got a drunk book up in another country. That sounds like a really fun night.
Well, I was thinking if you're in Europe and you're just like drinking, you could be close to the border and literally end up like going into one's car, going to a house party and being in a different country.
we
Yeah.
could do it in
Even in the
Cumbria, you
UK,
could end
like,
up in
if you lived
Scotland,
on the
different
border-
country.
Yeah, if you lived on the border like with England and Scotland or England and Wales or whatever, you could as well. So technically she could have.
Literally, my granddad lives like 2 miles away from the border. Scotland, you could totally do it. Doable. I could. I wander off on every night now.
Right, I've
Do
messaged
my
her
own
to
thing.
see if she's You're a tired little boy. You need to go to sleep. I've messaged her, so we'll see what she says if she captures it.
Fab.
Right. So we thought while we were on, it was a good chance for you girls to get a little bit of what we'd got from the GTC online. Just the snippets that we thought was worth telling, basically, kind of relaying for our businesses. So we've all three of us have decided on what we're doing.
Did you get my message?
No, which one?
The one that said I haven't prepared anything because I was out walking, so I haven't got for it. Sorry.
It's all right. Don't worry. If you can just, I mean, don't just think what pops into your head about what it is, because it was about
managing objections. But I'll record something and I'll put it on the group chat. But my memory's shocking, so sorry. And my plan was to get back and be on for 7, do my research and do my presentation.
That's fine, don't we? Because mine's just coming out of my head, really, because
yeah, I'm just reading off my notebook, which isn't great because I was in such a state of panic on the first night that if I made any notes, I was going to miss the products being launched. So I was just like, and I just found that the American ladies were awesome, but they were speaking so bloody fast and my hand couldn't move quick enough. And then yesterday I started watching day 2. And yeah, so mine's only straight from my notes. So God knows, I know. Yeah. They're not the most in depth. Put it that way.
It'll be all right. Don't worry. I've not even got my notebook. It's in the other room. But you've got it. But I think it's because I think I already had this in my head, and it was kind of relayed in the training. So I kind of have what I want to say. I was saying to myself that was then said there. So mine is a little bit from Stuart Armfield and a little bit from Cecilia Stoll. So just a few things from them 2 people. Anna, if you do yours first, just Meg, was it?
Yeah, she's the person that's thinking about it. What I just related to a lot of it, and again, like we've all heard a lot of it before, but this is the stuff that we need to know. You know, that's why it's continuously repeated. So Meg Redler, she's an ENVP, and she wanted to talk about how you can maximize the gift of time. Before Arbonne, she was working at 5 jobs. She said, the more you tell yourself you don't have the time or you don't know where to start, the longer you're not going to have the time to live the life of your dreams. So effectively, you're wasting your time. You know, you made this decision to join the business, and if you keep telling yourself that you haven't got the time to do it, you're not fulfilling the reason why you started it in the first place. 7 times she was asked if she wanted to join the business, and before she joined the business, and then for 7 months she did nothing but make excuses as to why she couldn't work her business. I think she's only been in Arbonne 5 years as well. She worked out, she said it's important for you to work out how to fit the business into your life, because even if you're really busy, you've still got time to fit the business in. The minute that Meg stopped complaining, changed her mindset, she became lucky. She would be texting clients or doing follow-ups in between her jobs, and she was committed to personal development. She lived the Arbonne lifestyle at work. So she shared everything at work, all these 5 jobs that she did. Eventually she dropped down to 3, I think, when she started Arbonne. But she said, you know, she'd be drinking a fizz stick, she'd have a protein shake, you know, she was eating, sleeping and breathing while she was not at home, Arbonne. Nothing will change unless you make the change. You need to set your boundaries, your goals, and your consistency has to be the same, whether you are new or established. And I thought that's really like a key thing, the fact that she said whether you're a new consultant or whether you're an established consultant, i.e. MVP 4, 6 wide, whatever, is that if you're not consistent, and we know that once we're in consistency and momentum, that it's going, and we all do it, you know, we all slack off. I particularly slack off over the weekends of consistency, but she said your consistency is one of your boundaries as well, so set yourself, so by not being consistent you're breaking your boundaries really. Beginning of the month, fill in important stuff on your calendar, so your family stuff, any other prior commitments, appointments, whatever, and then on your empty days fill that in with Arbonne, and then prioritize your daily do's. Write a list for the next day with both your personal and business stuff, which you would include, she said in the timing, she says she even blocks out her diary with housework of when she's going to do the housework, rather than just saying, right, well, once I've got the hoovering done, I'll go and do this. She blocks it out. Clear is kind. A clear mind is a kind mind, maybe she said, I don't know. Daily method of success, well, we've all got the trackers. Cara, Sarah, after this, I tagged you and Rambo in the daily methods of success, but I know you've seen it before. So she ran through the daily method of successes, which we all know what that is, but she then said, if you don't work with the daily method of success for whatever reason, so if you don't like that sort of way of working, for those that are really busy, they do the power hour. So use a timer. She kept saying that, use a timer, and within that hour you need to break it down into daily methods of success. So the first 20 minutes need to be reaching out to people with your asks and your follow-ups. 10 minutes of check-in with your PCs, because they are your future business builders. Take care of them, coach them, and check in on them outside of Arbonne. Make sure you're keeping the communication as a friend. 10 minutes on team building, encouragement, praise, strategy sessions. Always touch base with your team every day for 10 minutes. 10 minutes building relationships focused outside of social media. How are they? Just be a friend. So again, it's about not going in with the intention of Arbonne, just genuinely asking how somebody is, and not ever then having it in the back of your mind that you're then going to lead into an Arbonne conversation. Just be a friend to people, not via Facebook Messenger, you know, a text message, a telephone call. Obviously we can't see people at the moment, but not via social media. 10 minutes of social media posts. Do not get lost on a scroll haul. We all do it. Post what you need to post, get off. It's a tool. That's what you're there for. She said, when you make your business a priority and focus on the who, the how becomes irrelevant. So when you decide to make that business decision, focus on the who you want to help, who you want to share with, and how you're going to do it. It just happens. Inspire people. And then I messaged Gemma and said that I was having a glass of Prosecco, so that's it. But she roughly spoke for about 15 minutes, so...
That's brilliant, Anna, thank you.
Because she's who I got the most from. I found her voice really soothing. I paid attention. I didn't feel she was rushing. There was just something about her that, although they had all rehearsed, it wasn't too scripted, you know. She was still quite... her personality come through, which was really good for me.
Anna, can I just ask, what was her name? Meg?
Riedler. Redler. Redler. R-E-D-L-E-R. She's an ENVP.
R-E-D-L-E-R. Meg Riedler. Redler, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She was really good.
She was
definitely. Right.
Thanks,
so I've just got snippets from everybody, and it's just kind of relayed a lot of things that I've been doing that I want to relay to you guys, that I think in time I need to see if this all works, and if it works, it's a good system we can all follow, and that we can when we sponsor, we can relay, so we're all doing the same thing that works as well for us as a team. But I need to see if it works first. So what I got from it is basically, again, like Anna was saying, the biggest thing in your business is consistency, but also the other biggest word is discipline with yourself. And it's very easy to kind of give yourself a tea break all the time on your business, because there's nobody there to tell you you need to be here at this time and do this at that amount of hours and then come home. It's very easy to not give yourself that discipline. So the word I want you to just consistently as well think of is discipline with yourself. And when Meg was saying about, obviously, you know, giving yourself that slot time to even just do your house, if I can find it, I don't know if it's on my old laptop, but I did this. It'd come from another person a while ago. Me and Emma did it, and it's something, again, my discipline wasn't great, and so I dropped it, and it's something that I'll be bringing back in again, is actually having a rota in front of you from Monday to Saturday. And the first thing that you do in that rota is you block everything that you cannot move that is a definite. So that's like, you are at work Monday 9 till 5. That's a definite. Your business can't run from 9 till 5 on that day. Then you've got maybe that you've got to go to this class with your child, or you've got to go to it might be a hospital appointment. It might be just things that you cannot move, that are, you know, something that you have to have every time in your day. What I used to have in mind was like Monday and Tuesday was work, and the first thing in the morning would be miracle morning. So I would try and do some of my miracle mornings. So it would be a case of maybe an audio, or it would be the book, or it would be a SoundCloud. At the time, this is what it was for me then. Then I would do work. And the reason to that is that you don't overwhelm yourself, because if you're trying to go to work and then doing stuff while you're at work, sometimes, yes, we all do it. If you've got an order that you need to do and it's easy and it's not, you know, working your brain to carry on doing your business there, then that's fine. But it's when you feel like you can't stop thinking about Arbonne and it's constantly running in your head, that you have no structure going on with your business, and that's when you get overwhelmed. So if you have something like a rota that you block out, that you can look at it and go, right, that's what I need to do, that's when I need to do it. Block my, what if, you know, if you're going to do an hour a day in your business, half an hour, 10 minutes, whatever it is, you discipline yourself in how much you can do in that day with your business. And it's as simple as that, guys, but it's just doing it and disciplining yourself to do it as well. So Cecilia and Stuart kind of said that about, you know, it is really a lot about consistency and about discipline, but they also said, you know, we need to, a lot of people were saying we've got to remember that, yes, this business can give us everything that we completely desire, but it is hard work, and people need to know that it's not easy, because network marketing is a profession, and they need to see and know how amazing this business is if they work at it consistently. And that was the thing, if you work at it consistently, you can get this, but it's consistency.
2 seconds, I've just unmuted because I flicked back to Stuart's notes, and he actually said discipline is sexy. So just discipline is sexy, is what he said.
Yeah. It's true. And it's when if you're disciplined with yourself, you don't get that overwhelm. You know where you stand with yourself. You really don't want to do it. It's like a lot of things that we don't want to do. Sometimes you really don't want to, you know, contact 10 people that day, but you just think, right, once it's done and it's gone. There was also Nina Alexander was another one who is, I do really like Nina. She's somebody that you can look at when somebody tells you that they're really busy. She's got 4 kids that are all they're all quite young and at the same, like around the same age, I think. And she was on about, you know, again, just prioritizing your time. And she also talked about like the negatives like that you get from people the questions that you can get and how to go about it. And she just kind of made it that, you know, give them a bit of security that you were in that situation as well when you first heard Arbonne. They're like, not so sure, what's that about? I'm not really sure about that. And say, well, yes, that was the same with me. I wasn't really so sure either. But once I looked into it and tried the products, I was completely shocked. So it's kind of giving that reassurance that, yes, they were in the same position. You were in the same position as that person about Arbonne. But then when you looked into it a little bit further, you then realised what it was actually. It's when we can't have that kind of connection with that person and them getting to realise that we had them same fears and them same negatives about things with Arbonne before as well. So like with me personally, it was like, I loved the product, but I was like, I'm not doing network marketing. That doesn't work. But I didn't know anything about it. And I just kind of rolled into it really, but I'm so glad I did, because that was my mindset, because I hadn't educated myself on it. And it is about educating people when you're speaking to them. Our job is to educate them on what this is all about and to kind of get them to see beyond what Arbonne is, because Arbonne is your vehicle to get you to where you need to be. And it is something that needs to be important in your life, because you're wanting these other things to come to you. But you're also wanting to help others at the same time. And in that process, you can do that. And just being there for them and understanding where they are with this all. And like they say, it always takes a few exposures, at normally the minimum 7 exposures with somebody before they kind of go, okay, I'll take a look at this business. So again, it's just being consistent and disciplined with that as well. Then the follow-up is the biggest thing. You know, follow-up is a huge thing in Arbonne. And there's been people that I have spoken to, you know, 2 years ago, and they had nothing, they didn't want anything to do with it. And then they will come back to me and say, right, okay. And it might just go into project, or they might start the business, but then it's not really for them. But you just never know. It just wasn't the right time for them a couple of years ago. They can always come back. So always reach out to them people that you have spoken to, but for them just to kind of connect again, because that was what was coming across with Arbonne, was we're all about connecting for people, especially now, like where the world is. This is our time to shine, in the sense of shining a bright light for others, because everything is so dark at the minute. We have got something so positive and amazing to give out to people. It's a huge gift that we've got to give. It's just being able to show that gift to someone, and following with your heart is where you've got to go with it. And we can give ourselves loads of fears of speaking to people, because we're thinking, oh, is this the right time for them? But we don't know. We can't prejudge what they need and what they don't need. All we need to do is put the message across to say that we're there for them, and if it is the right time to have a conversation about it, you have the conversation. And they're totally right on that. And then there was also thank you, Cecilia Stoll. Like I never knew this. Cecilia Stoll actually nearly lost her nation, and I was just like, what? Like the woman that everybody, like, you know, the biggest keynote speaker that was going to be at Vegas, who she had no money, and somebody just anonymously gave her £200 from the church because she had nothing, and that £200 got her to where she is now, and she'll be forever grateful to that person. But she was just saying everybody is in the same thing. It's not about, like, you know, you have to be a particular person to become a nation. It is just hard work, and it's back and forth, and it's grow, but you have to grow as a person to get to them levels as well. And I think that's an exciting journey that you can take yourself to, is when you do go into other levels, you do have to grow as a person. And it is amazing to see, yes, like how much you've grown, and then how much others have grown as well that are doing the business with you is just unbelievable. So yeah, that was kind of what I got from it. But with Stuart, he was very much about the social media, which obviously, you know, this is the time when we all need to just be doing social media. And there's a lot of discipline in this. Now, what I've been doing I have invested a lot at the minute in outside coaching. So I have gone through Danny Clark with some coaching. I took on the World Tour one with Eric Worre and Fraser Brooks, and also my own stuff that I was doing previous with Louisa Havers. And the main thing that they were saying about social media is that you've got to be consistent in what you're putting out there. So when they're on about your 10 asks or whatever, the biggest thing you can do to get yourself seen on Facebook is not just posting things on our groups and what we're doing, waiting for people to look at it. We have to engage with these people in order for Facebook to show us up. So what I've been doing every day, and it has worked, it has definitely worked, is every morning on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, I will 10 people on each social platform. I will love something that somebody has put on that's in my feed, and then comment. And then that person has seen your comment, liked it, then they'll love it. Doing that every day to different people, and then keep following people that you've liked and loved as well. So there might be somebody that you've connected with again, and you're liking what they're putting on their Facebook. It means that when, after you've done that, you've done your engagement, you then put a post up on your social media. So after that, you put on a post up like I did the other day, like the weather was lovely. And the amount of views I got from that was big compared to when I didn't really engage with people that much. I wasn't being seen, because that's how Facebook will work with you. If you're going to engage, if you're going to work there, if you're going to play their game on Facebook, they will show you. But I don't mean that in a sense of like being, oh, you're only getting in touch with these people because of Arbonne. It's, do you know what? These people are my friends on Facebook. Why am I not engaging with them? Why am I not, liking and loving what they're doing? And then having a conversation with these people, and it gets you connected again and having lovely conversations with old friends. But what I would definitely suggest you do first as well is delete who you do not want in your Facebook. Is these people that, have maybe a default picture, it's not even them. They haven't changed it for maybe 2 years. You know that they're not on Facebook. Get them out of your Facebook. It's a waste of time having them in your group, in your Facebook. It's the same in any other platform, but go out there, look at groups that you enjoy. I'm in a lot of, I'm in breastfeeding, I'm in a baby group, I'm in a mum group, and I'm having really nice conversations with people. And I've sent some stuff to people, not that I've asked it, if they would take them. They've actually asked me, like, oh, what is it that you've tried that's helping and whatever. And so just get engaging is the main thing I would say in your social media, is engage, and you will get what you will get seen more. And it's nice to connect again. So that is definitely what I would do. And at the minute, I'm also because of time with me, it's quite difficult with like the whole feeding with Rex at the moment. And I was putting a lot of time into my posts on my group, like wasting a lot of my time doing that instead of actually speaking to people, because everybody knows that our businesses are, like, our bloodline, our lifeline is actually sponsoring. And a lot of my stuff was just going into my groups and expecting people just to see it and go, oh yeah, hi, yes, I would like this. And that was all I had to do. And it depended on my content as well. Like, was my content actually really good? Was it pointless? I was here, there and everywhere. And so I've invested in his thing, and I'm seeing how it goes. And if it works well, I would maybe suggest you guys do it as well. He gives you for £30 a month content to put into your Facebook groups. So you've got everything there. You literally copy and paste it. and you schedule it everything into your Facebook, and you don't have to use all of it. You obviously are going to do live sometimes in your groups, so schedule a time every week in your weekly diary. What day is you're going to go live? So everybody kind of gets used to the fact that, oh, Gemma will go live at 8 o'clock on Thursday night. You know, everybody knows that that's the day you're going to go live. He also has like generic photographs, but you could use a photograph of your own, you know, that works with you, that has your picture. You can kind of tweak the wording as well if you feel like you need to. But he also explains that the point of this is to kind of release your time, not wasted on that, and getting you to be doing what you're actually doing and helping, like, you know, speak to people, connecting with people. So it's something to kind of help you when you feel like you're not putting all the work into that, and then you don't have the time for this, and then you get stressed, and then you get overwhelmed, and it's just a way of helping. And from what I've seen, it does work for engagement. There's so many more views of what I've put on. He sends you everything in Facebook template, Instagram template, Instagram story, LinkedIn template, so it's all there. You literally just schedule it in, and there it is, it goes. So I'm in my first month of doing it, and it seems to have gone pretty well, and I'm kind of getting myself in a routine of how it works as well.
Sorry, Gem, can I ask, what's this man, and is
Danny
he
Clark.
an Arbonne person, or is he
Yeah.
just a network marketer?
You either love him or hate him, because he was
What's
an
his
Arbonne.
name?
Danny Clark. He was an Arbonne. It was before I started doing the business properly, but I think he kind of got taken out of Arbonne as such, just because he was wanting to do outside coaching, because he was doing a lot of coaching. Oh, block.
Froze.
Sorry, I went missing.
Yeah.
So he's called Danny Clark, and who is he?
So he used to be in Arbonne, and he did really well in Arbonne, supposedly. It was before my time, but a lot of people some of outside coaching, they either do really well or not really well out of network marketing, because they decide that they think other ways are better than the company for whatever reason, like Fraser Brooks, like, you know, they've all been in network marketing, and then they find a niche of how to help you. So Danny's done the same. Now he's either a you love him or a hater. A lot of people try that they don't like him, but there's a lot of people that do, and I thought, well, I'll just see what he's like. He's very straight to the point. He's good crack, really, and I just thought, well, I'll give it a go. And I'd heard that this content creator for 30 quid a month, you can either have it for £30 a month or pay, is it £200 or £300 and have it for a lifetime. So and he is just all about trying to actually help you be seen a bit more in social media, and knowing what to say and knowing how to go about it as well. So when you sign up to this content creator, you're then in a Facebook, and he gives you a bit extra as well. But that's just a side thing that I'm seeing if it works. And if it works, I want obviously to lay it out to you guys to see if it would be something that you think that might help you as well. It's always just knowing that there's something else to help. And yeah, we'll just see how it goes. But definitely, what I would definitely say with the social media, especially because we're here now, is definitely engage a lot more on your Facebooks, or, you know, maybe just do one platform for now. Do at least 10 a day, 10 engagements, put a post up, and then see what happens, and see how people will see you a little bit more. And that was it, really.
Brilliant, thanks, Gem.
You're welcome. Where's Julie gone?
Yeah, thank you. That content sounds good, because somebody's done it for me then, haven't they? You don't have to think about it.
No, and it's not that it's not cheating in a sense. Because at first I was like, how does that work? Because what if there's a load of people doing it? It's the same stuff. But I get it now. there is like 30, there's like 30 of the same thing. Now, fair enough, if we all have like the same people in our groups, then yeah, it might look a little bit generic. But if it's in the same team, then people will say, oh, well, that's because you're in the team, you know. But it also means you don't have to have the same thing popped up. So they could give you like all the templates of the day of the month, but you don't have to do them in order of how they give them to you. You can put them in any order you want. You can also use a different picture. So like what I put one up, it was about business, because they're very good. The content that he gives you is value, lifestyle, business. And
these are obviously all these glossy pictures that you've been putting with the words. They are incredibly professional. And I know you schedule your posts, and I did think, fucking hell, she's sat, where's she getting this from? You know, or you've either spent ages thinking about them, because the wording on them's like, yeah. It's
and
lengthy as well, aren't they? You know, it's not just a couple of sentences.
No, and I think, yes, people that are in my group now will be thinking, well, is that her? But you know what, that's when you can change it a little bit. And if you know, they don't need to know where I've got that from, but also when we've got people, I'm expecting new people in my group that I don't know, that are from a different country, so they're not really going to know how I speak. That's the whole point of the content, is that they see something and it attracts them, what you put in your normal profile, and then you invite them in, and they'll want to be in there. But it kind of frees your time up to do what we're supposed to be doing, and that's helping people. And like I say, you don't have to do everything that they give you, but it works. I mean, there's another girl in Arbonne that's using it that I speak to, that is kind of like an accountability buddy, and we're both using it, and she's now kind of changed hers a little bit with everything being her photograph, and they look really good, and it's great.
Are them Gemma, on yours?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just snooping on your page there, looking at them, just thinking, because obviously I've got a full-time job, and when I go back to work it is going to be really hard, like the hours that I work, because I work from 8 till, and I've got dogs in the morning, like got all the dogs to do in the morning, work from 8 till 6-7 o'clock some nights. It's probably something that I would really benefit from, you know, having something there to just literally post as soon as I get in, schedule it.
And I think as long as you put what he suggests you do as well is that every night you check the post that you've got scheduled, and you make sure that that's how you want it. You think, yep, okay, I don't want to tweak that, I think that's okay. Or you might think to yourself, no, I might just word that a little bit differently, I might put a little bit different experience of my side, you know, make it a bit more personal than me. And you can do whatever you like, but he says obviously the point of them is that it you know, you're not wasting your time doing so much, and they're there to help you to be seen a bit more as well, because we're all learning in this. We all know, like, they know what kind of content people want to see.
So does he send this to you, like if you sign up, does he
you get
send it to you like directly to you, or is this what he does for a group of 100 people and sends them the same stuff?
So everybody gets the same stuff, but again, like you can personalize it. So he will, when you sign up, you get basically put onto their VIP website, so the VIP Life website. You log in, you get your own account, and in that account what membership you've got, and so it shows on my content creator. You click in there, and the 28th of every month they'll post the new stuff out for the month ahead. You then have the next day to schedule everything into your Facebook, so you do it all in a oneer, and then you tick it to say that you've done it, basically that you've completed it. And then he'll invite you to a private Facebook group as well, so that you can get a little bit extra from there. So it's like another little kind of community. But what I liked about it was that it was 30 quid. It wasn't 300 quid. You know?
Yeah, it's good.
And I was like, I can do that. I can, although I because I've invested quite a bit recently. Like my investment has been a lot of money, and I just was like, there's something I'm missing that I need, I need all these things that I'm doing, but I also need something to kind of stop my stress about my group and what I'm putting content in. And when I seen that, I was like, oh my God, yes. But, you know, there might be times that you think, no, like, you know, with GTC being around, I mean, I've kind of not been with it the last couple of days because Rex has been a nightmare sleeping, but I had things posted already. So when there was all these project things, I had something posted that was rescheduled for that, you know, that day. And I was like, oh, so that looks really stupid because I've just clearly had new projects and I haven't put it out. But so you might have times where you think, okay, I've got that scheduled on Wednesday, but actually this is happening on Wednesday. Like we might be having new products out. You might just want to go out there and do something different on that day. But the point of it is that you can just relax about your group. You don't have to stress too much about your content because, like I said, the content they give you is a variation of lifestyle, a bit of fun, like little quizzes, like asking you silly questions, your business about like kind of getting people attracted to what business is about in network marketing. You know, it really, I was like, this is really good. And they give you training in the group how to do them as well if you're like a complete beginner in groups and stuff, because there's something called Planet, I think, for Instagram to schedule. There's an app you need to get called Planoly, I think it's called. And his wife explains it a lot because she's brilliant on Instagram. But the only problem with it, with the Instagram one, is that for you to schedule everything in Instagram, you've got to have your Instagram account as a business account. Now, it doesn't cost it to be business, you've just got to switch it. And I've kind of dabbled, just because I thought I'll concentrate on Facebook and LinkedIn first. I don't know if you can, I'm not sure if you can actually schedule LinkedIn. I haven't got that far yet. So what I've been doing is I've scheduled everything in Facebook, and then I just posted at like 12 o'clock at midnight, the Instagram and LinkedIn, because I was up with Rex feeding. So I was like, well, them ones I'll just post at that time in the morning and then they're done. But there is ways of scheduling, but the Instagram one, obviously you do have to switch it to a business account to do the scheduling. But it's, you know, I'll find the details, I'll send them across to you, and see, you know, if this is a fit for you. It might be, it might not be, but it's just finding ways that suit everybody. I found it really helpful to just let me get on with what I need to do, because I've not been having to stress about my Facebook group. And people have been looking at everything I've been doing and viewing everything more than they were. Definitely.
They are catchy, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, I know I stopped and read. Do you know what I mean? I might not have then liked or commented, but I did. They have all been like, oh,
yeah,
different.
Yeah,
Totally
and
different.
I think they also make, you know, they were saying, you know, people aren't always going to like and comment things, but they're watching. It says you've got to look at the views, not the likes and comments. It's the views that you've got to watch.
Yeah.
The views are bigger, a lot bigger.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll send it through what it is, and see if this will help you guys. And like I say, it's 30 quid a month. It's not breaking the bank. And if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. But
No.
I think, you know, as a team, people aren't going to be paying much attention to our Facebooks anyways. And I've only got a few that are the same as you guys in my groups. And also there was another point that was given to me, and this was from a coach that works with Fraser Brooks. He said, unfollow people in your team because you're always constantly seeing their feed in your Facebook. So I've done that. I've unfollowed some of you guys and some of the people in Buchanan, and because I don't need to see what they're doing. I don't. I mean, it's nice to see what you guys are doing, obviously it is, but it's not, you know, if we're liking and commenting on that, we're going to constantly see news feeds from them. You need to see news feeds from people in your Facebook that you're wanting to connect with. So definitely do that as well. Unfollow people that you don't need to follow. And then you can see where that goes with what, and it brings up new people every day with me now. So it's just working with how the actual system works, and it makes sense. It really does. So
you're not, sorry to interrupt, so you're not like unfriending them, you're just unfollowing them.
No, not unfriending, just unfollowing. So it just means that, yeah, you're still friends, but you just don't see their feed. You don't see their news feed. So if you're not needing to see, like, you know, you might see Emma all the time, or you might see me all the time, or, you know, and you don't need to. You need to unfollow these people and see people that you want to connect with again, because it kind of blocks the people that you are wanting to speak to.
Yeah. Also, like, that what you've just said to me, for me personally, has been really, really helpful, because I find with me a lot of the time, I'm seeing what other people are doing, and it almost like panics me and knocks my confidence, thinking, oh God, they've done all this recently and I, for whatever reason, haven't, and it's true. And so I'm going to do that with the vast majority of people, because I won't continuously sort of be worried about, oh God, they've done this and I haven't, and they're doing better than I am, or, you know, whatever. It ends up taking away your focus. And I know I'd said something like that to Anna, so thank you for that, because that's something definitely that I will do.
Oh, you're welcome. And it's like I say, you know, it's hard to not compare yourself sometimes, but don't compare yourself, because honestly, like, it's just a waste of time. It really is a waste of time, and a waste of time on you doing your business how you want to do your business. We're all independent consultants. You just get a bit of guidance and, you know, a bit of something that might help, a bit of coaching that might help you, that might be a fit for you with what you're doing. But I genuinely think that this content creator is like a game changer for everybody, because it gets us all just concentrating more on actually sponsoring than, you know, messing about with our Facebook groups, that you then start panicking and looking at how many people have liked it and who's commented, and oh God, and then you're stressing about what the hell to actually make content on. So you know, it's a win-win, really, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Jem.
No, you're welcome. Right, I don't want to take up too much more of your time. We've been on for ages. But,
all right. And I can't stop looking at baby Rex.
I know, he needs to go to sleep, don't you? Do you want to?
I want to cuddle.
Oh,
Hey, Rex.
so gorgeous.
Hi, baby.
Oh, so how big you are now. Woo!
Oh, he's a unit. He's a unit. It's Mama's milk.
You're just
gorgeous.
Yes, you are.
So cute, man.
He's
gorgeous.
He's a good baba, aren't you? You're a good baba.
He's really cute.
But
and
you
I'm one of them people that thinks babies look like monkeys, but he's a cute baby, Jem.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
So cute.
It's a very cute baby.
You always worry when they come out.
I know. Well, one of my friends that I worked with was like, what if it comes out ugly? I was like, oh.
You do worry though. It's the first thing you think.
Oh, Thomas was minging when he was born. Like,
yeah.
I literally, both of my boys actually, every time they're born, I'm like, yeah, that's yours, Paul. Here you are, and chuck him over to the pole. I don't think I even had skin to skin contact with either of mine. They're born. I'm like, yeah, off we go. Like, Thomas was really big as well, so they didn't even have time to weigh him. He was really big, and I was like, you don't need to weigh him, because I know he was bigger than my last, so don't even bother putting him on the scales. He came out with like bright ginger hair and these massive ears and red screwed up face. I was like, oh. And now look at him, he's beautiful.
He is. He's a gorgeous little babe.
He was funny looking. He was weird.
I remember when I
put me in hairbands,
and been taken off for various reasons to sort of be monitored, and I hadn't seen him yet apart from in a photograph.
I'm
And
just
my
going to stop
brother rocked
recording.
up.
Sorry, Sarah.
No,
I'll
that's
just
fine.
stop recording.